And Bitcoin had a hefty correction last night, dropping about 20% in just a matter of minutes. But in doing so, it buttoned up this CME gap that was just under the price action. We do have a few more down here. Will Bitcoin fill these gaps? It looked like it might, because the bulls appear to be running out of steam, and we could be headed for some lower prices in Bitcoin's very near future. We'll discuss those and more in today's episode, and we'll also go over some Ethereum technical analysis. Ethereum does look like it's running out of strength too, but we are in this epic trade that we discussed a few episodes ago. We'll review that and more and get some nice re-entry targets for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And you guys are going to want to stay tuned till the end of the episode. We are going to go over DOT, we are going to go over Cardano, and we are going to go over KSM in today's episode, so stay tuned. You don't want to miss this.
Self-destruct sequence activated. 3, 2, 1.
Is this your homework, Larry?
Ask him about the car, man.
Is this yours, Larry? Is this your homework, Larry?
Is that your car out front?
Is this your homework, Larry?
We know it's his fucking homework. Where's the fucking money, you little brat?
The Bitcoin price has gone from just $3,800 to $30K in under a year. Last March, we had this incredible correction where the Bitcoin price dropped all the way down here to $3,851. Imagine getting Bitcoin at that price now. And then we closed out 2020 with a high of, let's see here, we had a high of $29,442, and then Bitcoin just took off in a nice little Santa Claus rally there at the end, and it does appear that we are headed for a correction. Now, last night Bitcoin did get a hefty correction, down a little over 20%. The price actually came all the way down to $721.53 according to Bitstamp, but it has recovered pretty quickly. But what we're looking at in the near term, let me go ahead and zoom in here. Here is our Bitcoin chart. So last night we did get that almost 21% correction. We came down and filled the largest CME history, as you can see here, and price is working its way back to the upside as we speak. So here is the current price action right here. This is the Bitcoin 1 hour chart. We did come up and cross this channel trend line, and what I'm thinking is Bitcoin may now be heading downwards at this angle here, as you can see, designated by this lower trend line, unless we are able to put in a new high. Then in fact this uptrend will continue. The total crypto market cap has been looking bullish. We did see a ton of profit taking here, and we saw that in the Bitcoin price and the Ethereum price as well. We are in line for a correction. I don't see that coming down too far, but we could see a correction all the way down to the lower $700 billion area. Taking a look around the crypto market, you can see Ethereum dominance is skyrocketing. There is a ton of money flowing into Ethereum right now, and we'll get into that chart here in a second. But if we look at USDT market cap dominance, it does look like we may be on the verge of another parabolic move to the upside, something similar to what we saw all the way through spring and summer of last year. Now, if we look at Bitcoin dominance, it has started to take a bit of a hit, and it does look like now it's finding resistance at the 55 daily EMA, letting us know it's going to head down to the downside, giving us some exciting news about a potential altcoin season. We'll talk about that too at the end of the episode. But just for some further validation that Bitcoin is going to be headed lower, looking at the S&P 500, again, this is the weekly chart. We do have this pretty strong bearish divergence that has not yet played out, but we are looking for a correction, and it does appear that it may be rolling over right now. We did get a nice move to the downside, and it looks like it too was bought back up rather quickly by a bunch of bulls just sitting down there waiting to eat up that price, letting us know too that we are in line for a steep correction correction is the DXY. The DXY has been parabolically moving to the downside since April. Now, looking at the DXY, this is the daily. We've been in this falling wedge for quite some time. It does appear that it is testing this upper trend line of this falling wedge, letting us know that we could be headed to the upside in the short to mid term. And if this does happen, this will possibly coincide with a sell-off in the stock market as well as the cryptocurrency market. So make sure if you're in a long trade or if you're waiting to buy lower, your time is coming. But if you are looking to take profits, that's something you should want to consider pretty soon, especially since, you know, we did have our inverse correlation of the DXY, letting us know that every 1% move up gives us about a 10 to 15% correction to the downside out of Bitcoin. So if we get, you know, a 3.5% move up, that could be a 30 to 40% correction out of Bitcoin while this happens. All right, as promised, Ethereum is looking mega bullish. We got that huge breakout to bring in 2021. Ethereum headed up over $1,000, and we are looking at hitting new all-time highs very soon. However, I'm not sure if new all-time highs are in the very near future for Ethereum. Ethereum has had this strong uptrend and this huge breakout here on January 2nd. However, we are looking for a correction out of the Ethereum price, and we should be seeing it fairly soon. And now we are just looking for some sort of reversion to the mean so we can have a re-entry possibility for Ethereum. So zooming in even further, you can see the price is falling down. We did enter into that epic Ethereum trade. Let's go ahead and bring that bad boy back up. So this is the Ethereum trade that I not only shared with the group, but I shared with you guys as well. We did buy out of this falling wedge here, and the price just continued to head to the upside. You can see here we got in right around $597 and then followed the price of full 100% all the way up to 1,000, and we got out right at around 1,000 because I wasn't sure how much farther the price was going to head up. So I did take profits right about 9,500 or 957.41. Now the price did come all the way up to almost $1,200 before finally looking like we are going to get a correction out of Ethereum. So this was the trade idea that we were in. So now we are looking for re-entry possibilities. But first, let's go ahead and zoom out to the weekly chart for Ethereum. So we are on the weekly Ethereum chart, and you can see a mega bullish structure here with this double bottom. You could even count this as one rounded bottom, and if we do get some sort of pullback out of the Ethereum price, we could see this turn into almost like a cup and handle structure before we see continuation to the upside. One thing is for sure though, we are going to get that continuation to the upside, barring any terrible news for Ethereum as a whole. So again, coming back to the 4-hour chart, what are we looking for here? So right now we did take profits out of our long trade, and if we're looking for a re-entry back into Ethereum, we're going to look for a pullback, and a pullback that may come down all the way to this top trend line of this rising wedge that it broke out of to set these new yearly highs for 2021. So we are looking for a pullback, possibly all the way down to the 55 EMA on the 4-hour, right around $800, 826 to be specific. And if we break it down below that, we should see the price come down to $730, and below that we could see $672. But right now, I'm just keeping my eye on Ethereum, waiting to see what kind of consolidation structure develops here at this top, and if we get another opportunity to enter in, if it's going to continue to the upside, then, you know, we will look at that again when that time comes. But right now we're just waiting for a pullback or some sort of structure to develop before we decide if we are going to get to any trades. If we look and see how far we are, so Ethereum is only about 40% away from its all-time high, and its all-time high was about $1,415. Crazy to think that the price came all the way up just under $1,200 just a day ago. All right, guys, I did promise you a few altcoins, so let's go ahead and start with ADA. Again, let's just go to the daily chart. So this is Cardano. We are in this falling wedge structure here, and it looks like we are putting in some sort of double bottom or even an inverse head and shoulders. So an inverse head and shoulders was the idea until we actually broke the price line of this left shoulder. So right now we are looking at a double bottom structure here, so be very cautious. Again, this is the daily chart. We could be headed further to the downside, but with the price action and what we're seeing out of Bitcoin dominance, it's very likely that we are looking at a altcoin season in the very near future. So how would you look to get into ADA? So this is the Cardano Bitcoin chart. Again, I do not chart in USD most of the time. I will always chart against Bitcoin. So see that our one-to-one extension here is pretty decently high up there. That would give Cardano about a 243% move against Bitcoin if it is to take off where it is right now. What we are looking for though here is we are looking for a clean breakout above this 236 extension. That will let us know that price should be continuing to head to the upside from where it is here. But if we do come up and get rejected at this 236 extension, then we will be looking for further downside to Cardano. We are not in any trades right now with Cardano. We did close our position when we did come up to the 618 in the previous move to the upside, just because we weren't sure if price was going to continue, and sure enough, we were correct. But let's go ahead and look at DOT against Bitcoin. So DOT against Bitcoin, again, this is the Binance chart, so we're very limited in data, and this chart is looking crazy bullish. You can see we got this breakout of this falling wedge, and it does appear to be DOT heading into 2021 with some mega bullish structure here. So what we did is we broke out. Now, one thing the price has not done yet is we have not gotten the confirmation of this upper trend line. So typically, when you get a breakout of a structure that does, take this long to develop, you should get some sort of bullish confirmation of resistance flip to support, and that could actually be here with this 236 extension, but we are above it, and we are waiting for price action to come back down to the 236 before we look to enter into any long trades. Now, here is the caveat here. If the DOT price does come down to the 236 extension, which is just over 26,600 Satoshis, then we could be headed further to the downside. However, this has had some incredibly bullish news over the past couple of weeks, so we are looking at this asset continuing, but we are hoping for a pullback down to the 236 so we can get our buy orders filled. All right, last one, THETA. THETA is one of my favorite projects. It has just been performing well when most other coins have just been stagnant, and I will show you why this is one of my favorites right now. Look at how incredibly bullish this structure is. This is the weekly chart for THETA. Again, this is a shoulder, head, shoulder, and price just looks to be continuing to the upside. So if we go from the lowest point into this price structure to the right, and then we go up to this high here and then come down to the low, if we get a one-to-one extension, which is not likely, actually let's bring this down here. If we get a one-to-one extension here, which is pretty likely considering the bullishness of this price movement, that'll put us up over 11,500 Satoshis, which will be a pretty considerable move from where it is. That's about another 80% out of THETA. And again, mind you, this is against Bitcoin. If you were looking to enter into a trade with THETA, I would not recommend buying at the moment because the price does appear to be correcting, and we could get a move all the way back down here to the 236. Let's go ahead and take a Fibonacci retracement tool and just see how far down we could come. So here's the thing. If price falls down, we should get it to move down to the 382 before continuing to the upside. But if price breaks this 382 extension and this 168 retracement, then, we could see further movement to the downside. If we draw the retracement tool the way it's supposed to be drawn, and then we could see price coming all the way back down to the 236 extension, which just happens to line up with the 618 retracement. So we are looking for entries here with THETA. However, you know, considering we might be entering into another epic altcoin season, we might leave this price in the dust. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put a buy order here, and if it gets filled, keep your eye on it. That way you can make sure that price doesn't continue to the downside and end up, you know, losing a ton of equity in your THETA holdings. So this is where I would be lining up my buy orders, right around here, right around this 382 and right around this 236. All right, guys, thanks so much for dropping in with me. I hope y'all are having amazing trading in 2021. Don't forget to join the free Telegram group and go ahead and visit our website at www.3candlecollective.com. We are looking for contributors, and we are always looking for members. Peace.